Hi guys. I see a couple of you are on here. Can you hear me okay? Just, you should be able to chat and then I can see who's here. I got my little here. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm having a little bit of reverb. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm having a little bit of reverb. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm having a little bit of reverb. Can you guys hear me okay? Well. Let's try that again. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened there. Give me 2 seconds and I will be able to see you guys chatting, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't start acting crazy again. Because what I've got going on here is I've got my computer right next to me because I want to be able to see who's chatting because I'm using my phone to record. So hopefully, okay. Okay. All right. So it's looking like I've got a little bit of a delay on my computer, but that's fine because I just need you guys to yes, it was Joe. Thank you. I had some sort of echo going on with the computer being on, but I've turned the sound off. So do I sound okay now? Does everything sound good? Okay, cool. All right, so I see you're the only one here right now, but I'm excited. Sorry about this mess here, sort of threw everything on here. Let's see. I can't remember where you are. Are you, is it 11 o'clock where you are too, Joe? Oh, somebody else is here now. Ah, noon in Connecticut. Aren't you fancy? Is it snowing there? Because it snowed here. I don't know if I think it's done snowing here. Anyway, so I guess since some of you guys are here, who else is here? Who else is here? Say hi. Okay, so I've got a stack of art here that I was going to show you guys, maybe just to kind of start out this live session, get used to it. It's kind of freaking me out because the delay on the computer is showing me doing things from, 10 seconds ago, but I think I'll get the hang of it. So these are just some of the things that I've been doing recently, just little sketches. I'm really into using the white ink lately, but I've also been using black ink, as you can see. You guys probably have seen a lot of this stuff. Brown ink. Actually, I think this might be my sepia ink, which I really like, but this morning I got a new shipment of Hydrus sepia. And this is the liquid watercolor I've been talking about. I have two other colors. I got the carbon black and the burnt umber. And I'm not sure what's going on with me and neutral colors lately, but I'm really liking them. So I ordered the sepia because I really like the sepia ink, but something I've noticed about the ink is that it's a little bit thick, if that makes sense. And when I'm using the watercolor, it's just flowy and easier to paint with. There's some more sketches, goofy doodles. Playing with candles. I like how the ink works. The liquid watercolor, I don't know if it had the same kind of effect, or the yellow is liquid watercolor. Here's my tornado. Got kind of a glare on here, so I'm seeing if I can fix that for you guys. Let's see. Well, looks like I get all these filters. I don't want a filter though. Let's see. You'll have to bear with me. This is my very first time, and I am not entirely sure I know what I'm doing. Oh. Okay, well, I guess it's just gonna have a slight glare. Is the glare really bugging you? I think maybe I could move this a little. Whee! Actually, the glare is worse on my phone than it is on the computer, so I don't know. Okay, well, we'll see. Anyway, that's some of my stuff. I was doing these flowers yesterday that everybody really liked. I told you I would show you this one because it's shimmery and sparkles. I used gold for the centers, and I used salt and granulation medium to get these neat textures in the middle. And I actually really like how it turned out. I don't paint a lot of flowers, so I'm surprised that it turned out so well, considering here are my other poppies from yesterday that everybody liked, and my yellow flowers. I was gonna try to do cone flowers or poppies with these, or not poppies, peonies or peonies. I've heard it pronounced two different ways. I like peony. But I'm not sure I like the yellow as much as I do the red. I made the red myself. Maybe that's why I like it more. And this is the other one I did yesterday. Okay, you are upside down, aren't you? Let's see if I can flip you around. This is why I have you here, so you can say, hey, you're upside down. I don't think that worked. Nope, it wasn't you. I'm trying to, my phone is just, hi. No, it's not letting me. Hi, Lily. How are you? I'm trying to figure out how to, what? I'm trying to figure out how to turn this straight. See, this is why they should have, maybe they do, I don't know, why they should have a little thing where you can test live streams so that you're not, okay, let's see, did it work? Okay, it did it, yay! Lily, you're in Spain, right? I actually was born there. My dad was in the Air Force, and I was born near Madrid, Torrejón de Arroz. And the air base is not there anymore, which I'm sad about, because I've always wanted to go back and see Were you really? That's awesome. Look at that. Look at that tiny world we live in right now. We got Lily in Spain, and yes, and I am in Missouri, and I love it here. I really do. I don't have much. I don't have much to say bad about Missouri, especially the nice, pretty scenery and the different seasons we get and everything. Anyway, now that Lily's here, I can talk about this Hydrus watercolor because she is my watercolor friend. And you guys are both my watercolor friends, actually. But yeah, this is the Hydrus for Lily because she didn't see earlier. But I got sepia this morning, which I'm very excited about. This is what the other video was supposed to be about that I accidentally deleted. This is the ink. This is the India ink, and this is the watercolor. So you can see the difference. This is burnt umber, and then the ink is just brown. So, and I did salt because I wanted to see how it looked when I did salt versus, I like actually, I'll probably try to hold this still for you guys. I liked how the salt looks on the ink. Try to get this in view here. I like how the salt looked on the ink more than the watercolor. Well, actually, I have two different views on this. I like the white, wispy, feathery look that I got with the ink. But with the watercolor, I like how it looks like little flowers with the brown. The burnt umber is actually really pretty because when it spreads out, it has different, like a yellower tone to it when it spreads out. It's actually pretty neat. Anyway, so I got sepia this morning and actually wasn't supposed to be here till Tuesday. Yeah, they are kind of like seed pods. I like that. I like when it comes out like that. And this, I used, this is the ink again. I used plastic wrap, and I did it with the watercolor too, but I'm not entirely sure where it went. So it's around here somewhere. I have so many things, just pages just lying around. Let's see. I have Clarence here with me. He's keeping me company while I do all this. He's covered in dog fur, so. Anyway, I wanted to try out, before we did anything, I wanted to try out this sepia to see what it looks like, because I actually haven't tried it yet. I figured I'd wait till I saw you guys. I'm gonna use mixed media paper. I don't really like using mixed media paper, even when I'm just sketching, because it tends to bubble but I want to try this, and that's the closest paper I have nearby. I try when I'm doing these Hydrus watercolors, I try to test them the same way that I would test ink, because I think that there are multiple methods of playing with these things, but for me there are really two: the wet on wet and the wet on dry. So bad Lina did not wash her brushes yesterday. So first we'll do the wet on dry, and as you can see, I just dropped a little drop in there, and that's kind of what I want with these. That's pretty. I love sepia, I really do. It's got like almost a greenish hue, and with the brown, it's very natural. What I like about, what drew me to these was that they're concentrated, so when you drop them in, yeah. And see, I've never used a Copic marker before, actually. I've used just regular, more expensive markers than traditional, but not as expensive as Copic markers. I didn't like them as much It just didn't feel like it didn't spread everywhere like, you know, my watercolor. I don't know. I just, every once in a while I get some of those out. My daughter actually likes using them more. She's more of a marker artist than a painter. So I let her use them. I have a whole thing of skin tones that she plays with sometimes. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be the wet on wet, so I'm just going to drop it right in. And then watch it spread out. Ooh. I don't know if granulation is the right term here, but what I've noticed with these watercolors as opposed to India ink is when they spread out like this, another color tends to start to show, start to appear. Like I'll show you the burnt umber. The burnt umber does the same thing. Yes, I like the watercolor brush pens. You're talking about the ones with the water inside that you can fill up with water. I like using those. Oh, are you talking about? Oh, wait, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the watercolor markers that have, yeah, I have a couple of those. I have the Arteza brand, but I actually didn't like those either. I don't know. Maybe it's because when they got here, I didn't know if they were, well, that's interesting. I didn't know if, there you go. See, that shows you how the burnt umber turns. Let's see if we can do that with the sepia. I didn't like them as much because they seem to arrive kind of dried out. So maybe it was just because I got a bad batch. My daughter doesn't even really like them either. So, I mean, if usually the 6-year-old doesn't approve, then maybe it's just, I think maybe we just ended up with a bad batch. Yeah, look, that is granulating. And I don't know if I didn't add any granulation medium to it or anything. It's just doing that all on its own. What I really like about these watercolors is that they are much more vivid, and I think that's because they're concentrated. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the black, and then we'll go ahead and do some actual painting here. But the black, as you can see, is pretty solid, which is exactly what I wanted. I have been looking for a solid black in watercolor for so long that, and I was just happy that I found it. Anyway, I was saying, I completely forgot. I like the idea of the hydrous because I seem to use less watercolor, and they're about the same price as Daniel Smith watercolors. So I decided I'd try a few to see if I actually could keep these longer and use less watercolor. And they do reanimate. So when they dry out, you can add water. And see, I haven't had that problem. Well, see, when I use the India ink pens, the brush pens, I don't usually end up with streaks. Then again, I haven't, you know what? I don't know if I've tried to put watercolor over a drawing whenever I use brush pen. I have no idea. It's possible that I could see that it might do that. It might bleed a little. I actually yeah, I'm not sure. I don't know if I've ever done that. Usually if I'm gonna paint like I really wish this glare would go away. Usually if I'm going to paint or use a brush pen with India ink, I will just get my India ink and use my paintbrush. I actually have been finding that's a lot more natural to me. I know a lot of artists have more control with the brush pens, but for me, I think I've been using a paintbrush for so long that maybe it's just I want to be loyal to my paintbrushes. I don't know. Anyway, these are ink paintings. So something I've noticed the difference between the hydrous and the ink is that sometimes the hydrous black will dry lighter I thought I had an example over here, but I don't think I do. Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah, so this is ink again. So, but with the, I wish I had one, I had an example sitting nearby, but I don't. So, okay. So, I'm gonna stop lollygagging here. That sound all Missouri there? I'm gonna lollygag. Okay, so this is basically what I had decided I was going to paint for you guys today. This is the monotype I did the other day. I was actually really surprised when I pulled it out and it looked like this. I didn't plan for that. So I added the trees and the roots down here. So then I thought, well, I don't really like how it turned out with the weird inky, I'm not sure what happened. The glossy paper did that, but I did like the way this looks, almost like the earth or the ground beneath the trees. And I live in Jefferson City, so we're right by the river. So there are just bluffs everywhere. We are surrounded in bluffs, and they're beautiful. And when you're riding they have really pretty trails near these bluffs, and they're just basically big cliffs and rocky cliff sides, and that they just go up and up and up, and they have caves in them. They're just wonderful. And so that it made me think of that, and so I decided I would paint that, and I haven't actually gotten the chance to do that. Motherhood, and but so that's what I figured I'd paint for you guys today. I haven't painted it yet, so if it comes out funny, then we're all gonna have to laugh together. I gave it some thought, and I decided I was going to use my hot press paper, because what I'm going to want to do once I get these textures in and it dries, I'm going to want to draw I'm going to use my white pen, my gel pen, to draw roots that come down to this area, so that it's black roots here, but then in the cliff side there'll be white roots, so they'll just be creeping through the rocks and the dirt. Kind of makes me think of the painting I sold to Olivia with the bunnies in the burrow underneath the tree. Is this glare really bugging you guys, or is it okay? See, I'm trying to fix it, but it's just not. I'm not entirely sure how to get that glare to go away. Maybe I could put my flowers right here. Or maybe move my white thing. I'll move the white over here. That might help. I'm a lefty anyway. All right. So I figured I'd try a couple of different things, like the granulation medium, to kind of show you guys what it does. Have either of you used the granulation medium before? It's actually really cool. I might have had, maybe not. I had actually I did the granulation medium with the Moon Glow, and the Moon Glow paint by Daniel Smith, it's automatically granulating, and it granulates into a variety of different colors, which is really, really pretty. And this actually, whenever I used it on there, it almost created beautiful streaks of color with these that the Moon Glow has. It's like there were pinks and purples, and it was just really neat. So it's definitely fun to play with. So I'm going to move this over here, and then I'm going to show you guys. I may use my, well, I don't think I need to use my tray. I'm going to use this brush for the big surfaces. My Princeton Neptune #1. I love this is oval wash, right? Yeah. I love oval wash brushes. I think I've found my favorite type of brush, and I got oval wash. My daughter actually was using, see, I can't even tell which one is which now. My daughter was using this one right here. She was using it, and she accidentally, instead of dipping it in the water, she dipped it in the candle, in the lit candle. So it burned all this off, and then it was covered in wax, and it's like, oh no, it's my my favorite brush. But we all just kind of laughed about it, because I do that same nonsense all the time. I cannot have my coffee near me. I will dunk my brush in my coffee, and then try to drink from my water cup here. So these, well, this one no, because it's messed up, but these are probably going to be the primary brushes of the day. I got some clean water, and I've got some water that's dirtied up. I'm going to use, actually, I'm trying to decide if I want to use black, or if I want to try a different, or maybe a combination of these. I think what I'll do first is, see, I had a lot of times with my paintings, I don't like to think too much about it before I get started. I'm one of those people that if you start planning it for me, or if I start planning it for myself, I can't do it anymore. It zaps my creativity. I need to be able to wing it. And that's, I don't know if that's normal or okay, but that is definitely what works for me. I think, Lily, you're the kind of person who likes to plan, right? I see that sometimes in your videos. You seem to really like to plan stuff out, and that's neat. I think that's more of an illustrator's technique, and I think you are definitely destined for some illustrations. What about you, Joe? Do you like to plan, or do you like to just pick a picture and go for it? I don't know if you guys are still there. I haven't seen I haven't seen any talking. Let's see. So what I think I'm gonna do first. So I'm going to warm up a little. Sometimes I just gotta warm up, and it is Sunday morning, and I've got to warm up. I saw somebody just showed up, I think. Who else is here? Is it just you guys still? I think I've got a delay or something. Let's see. Oh, there you are. Oh my good gravy. I had some sort of delay on all your talking. I'm sorry, guys. I just now got a bunch of chats, so I'm not ignoring you, I promise. Lily, you're wondering if the Hydrus watercolors are light fast. What do you mean by that? Like, yeah, isn't technology great? I think, oh, and while I'm at it, oh, see, I wish I'd gotten some of these chats whenever will it fade if exposed to light? You know, I have no idea. You know, you know, for me, it's like I paint something and then I move on. I have no idea. And if it is, you know, they're a lot bolder and they're a lot more vivid than the tube paints. So I'm not sure. I think that's definitely something we'll have to research. And another thing that I do like about it though is it doesn't seem to reanimate. I'm using the wrong word, but reanimate works for me. You know what I mean. I don't know if it's dye based. It says light fast right here on the side. Light fast, transparent, brilliant, permanent pigments, high density, intermixable, and blendable. And it's blurry for some reason, but. And yes, the brush, well, it does not want to focus on that. These brushes are cat's tongue. I have heard them referred to that before. It's kind of funny though, thinking that I'm painting with a cat's tongue. So, yeah, these all say that they're light fast. So, and what I do like is that they will reactivate when you put water on them in the palette, but on the paper they don't. They're kind of like ink, where once it's dry, you know. And it also does depend on, they are Dr. P.H. Martin's. And Joe, yes, you do need a big brush like that, because especially if you're wanting to do more loose stuff, big brushes kind of force you to do loose painting. If you're using little brushes, they actually force you to do more detail. Or not force you, but you're more likely to do more detail. So I'm just going to do something, just practice. These are also liquid watercolor, but these are the ones that I've been talking about for, you know, weeks now. The Bria Reese watercolors. And I am not gonna, you know, I have thought about flowers, but I'm not gonna do any planning. I'm just going to get a feel for my brushes. Where are all my brushes? There they are. I do like using this one too. And it's funny because I used to really like only the tiny brushes, and nowadays I want the biggest brushes. And it's really interesting how even when I painted Medusa here, I think it's neat how, yay, Lily's going to sketch with me. I think it's neat how you can evolve as an artist, even just by changing the type of brushes that you use. It's funny, a year ago I was drawing bunnies and Zentangles, and this year I am using watercolor ink. And that's actually, yeah, go get your sketchbook too, Joe. That's actually what got me the honorable mention for my House of Usher piece, was the fact that it was ink. They thought it was watercolor, and the director told them, no, it's ink, and they thought that was crazy that I had painted with ink. And you know, I've been trying to research. I think I've got some kind of squid or octopus going on here. I've been trying to research to find other ink paintings that, you know, you see it a lot in like the Chinese on the rice paper and stuff. Yeah, it could be an alien. You see it a lot with the Chinese techniques and the rice papers, but I don't know, I was just trying to find some basic ink painting, and a lot of times I see a lot of ink paintings with like the fluid technique where they don't really plan it, they just drop it on there and go from there. And I've done that a couple times, but I always feel like I'm just getting lucky. And I do want to actually do something with my paint. So these are all, this black is the hydrous. Some of that brown that I used was the sepia. What I could do something really crazy. I got myself some white ink. And I'm gonna drop it right there. Fun. You know, I don't know. I get unlucky with the spontaneous stuff too sometimes. Like with this one that I was showing earlier. It ended up being a little bit of a mess, which, you know, some people might like, but for me it was just too much going on at once. I wish I could get it further into the view, but I can't. I do like my birds though, those were pretty spontaneous. Anyway, whoa, check it out. He's got eyes. Hi, Mark. Well, a lot of, you know, I used to feel that same way, but I am a firm believer in the fact that I was not born with talent. Nobody is really, I don't think people, unless you're Mozart. I mean, Mozart was just some weird prodigy kid. I don't think anybody is born with, it's, you know, super talent. You have to work at it. You have to practice and study, and if you really want it, you know, I really wanted to know how to do art. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it was just practice round. This is hot press paper, by the way, my cotton paper. I love my cotton paper. I just wanted to get it. I'm gonna spread this white around. I just wanted to get into the zone, I guess. All right. And I actually, Lily, I will tell you, I like the white ink more than the white gouache. I have tried probably 4 different types of white gouache, and all of them dry transparent. But the white ink, it does not. What you get, it's just water. It's just water, yeah. You know, they say, never say die till it's dry. So if I keep my paper moist, I can keep working. If it's dry, then tough luck. You get what you get. Anyway, yeah, Lily, I like the white ink. For some reason, it always dries. If it's white, it's gonna dry white. It dries how it looks, you know, and it does, you know, feather out better, I think. Sometimes it just depends on. I will actually, before I start actually painting, you know, a piece, show you guys what this granulation medium does. I have a bunch of these cool little droppers that my daughter really likes to play with these. I'll show you what this stuff does. The problem with the one thing I don't like about granulation medium is that you have to use a lot to kind of get what you want. But as you can see, and this is what I like about watercolor, it's only going on the places that are still wet. So it's staying on its tentacles, and I don't know if I can get this closer and my phone won't blur it out for you guys, but well. I'll tell you what. Anyway, I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of acting blurry and lame. But the little, I'm trying to get this in the frame for you guys. Still figuring this out, sorry. It's got little speckles, and once it dries, it'll actually have a really, I'm gonna do this so that we can let it run a little bit further down. Ah, he's got legs. This is the stuff that I do that I don't show you guys because, you know, it makes no sense, but it's fun. Anyway, so yeah. Oh, I'm frozen. Give me a second. All right, sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. All right, so I did this and it's crazy. It's crazy now. I'll come back to it later once it's dry and we'll see what it looks like. All right. My phone's starting to act up and say it's dying. So what I'm gonna do is once it actually starts trying to die altogether, I'm going to have to remove my microphone, which I think is lame, but you guys will not, I will be talking, but I will probably sound muffled because this microphone is just, eh. Or the phone microphone is eh. I'm sorry, if you guys are talking, I'm again losing you. Okay. What I'm going to do, so I'm going to take a peek at this again. Put it over here so I can keep an eye on it. I have this tray here that I didn't wash out because I was playing with it yesterday and I kind of wanted to keep my green. The green is actually my burnt umber mixed with indigo. It's actually really pretty. Aww. You'll have to show me a picture of your mountain lion kitten. I'm excited. I'm trying to decide if I should use, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to do something. I'm going to take my sepia because I just got it and I'm excited and I want to use it. And I'm going to really water it down because I don't want pure white back here. I want a lighter, browner hue. And if it ends up being too dark or too black, I mean, I don't know how this sepia is going to dry. It might look a little dark to you guys, and that's because watercolor will dry, as Jean Larson says, I think she says 40% lighter than when you put it down. So if I'm putting it down, she says if it looks right, then it's wrong. So you gotta really lay it on if you want it to be, but I want this to be a light color. So I'm not gonna really thicken it up. Okay, let's see. Normally I would let this dry, but I don't think I'm going to. I think it might give me some pretty neat effects. I don't really want to water the black down because I want it to be opaque. So I'm gonna do it straight out of the tube. And I haven't decided yet. And what I may do is, woo! That is not what I meant to do. But, as Marie Noel Worm says, you have to embrace the unexpected. So I'm going to make a little opening down here for my tree roots. And then, oh, look at that, see? When it's doing that, now it looks like grass. We got grass down here. And what I'm going to do is something that I would have thought even a month ago was super crazy. Until I saw Jean Larson doing it, and now I've got to do it like all the time. I'm apparently going to start talking quieter now because I'm thinking. I'm trying to keep up with your chats, and I'm hoping that you guys are just in the zone with your own drawings. I'm going to use this palette knife to make my cliff. Yay, glad you're drawing. Get in the zone. I like it. I love painting and drawing with others. It's very fun. Doing it by yourself is okay, but when you know that other people are doing it too with you, it's exciting. See, I got this nice yellowish hue in here. All right, get out of my way. And I'm sure you guys maybe have noticed that I did a no-no and that I did not test my colors on my little papers over here. That's because I usually forget. And also because, you know, the CP I figured I would just test on the paper. I'm just going to keep doing this. I think what I may end up doing, well, I would put a little of saran wrap on this, but I don't think I want to. I'd have to get up. I don't want to get up. I'm sitting. I'm surprised Hal hasn't gotten up and started trying to get into everything, because that's what he does when I'm trying to do something. I like this grassy look that I got because it was wet. And that's one of the things that, it's like a happy accident. But I have more happy accidents when I leave my paper slightly damp. It's kind of hard to see because of this nonsense glare that man, if I hold my hand here, maybe it'll show you. It's a little bit yellow. And I like that. I like the yellow. And I'm going to bring this up for you guys so that you can see it. Well, I'm having problems getting stuff in focus, or in frame, I mean. And this window is so bright next to me that it's just blinding everything. I'm so sorry. I'm not entirely sure what to do about that. Okay. I tried putting something here. Maybe that will help a little bit. It's just casting a shadow on there. Oh well, I think you guys are... that's what I was doing, but it seems to be different with the live, because I tried to mess with it and it told me basically stop messing with it because I'm live. And then it has little filters that I can do. I didn't really want to add a filter because I don't know what I'm doing. Ooh. I'm going to put it in black and white. There you go. Now we're photographers on here. See? Woohoo! Now I can really see my values, see? I'm actually using YouTube. When you go live, you go on YouTube and tell it basically that you're going to go live, and it has it all set up on YouTube. Let me see if I can push this up higher. Woo! This little arm is pretty cool, but sorry, this little arm is pretty cool, but it can be a major pain. Especially when I'm trying to watch Supernatural and I'm trying to do the dishes. All right. I'm gonna have to take my microphone out and plug my phone in, otherwise you guys are gonna lose me. So I'm sorry. I wish there was a way I could use the microphone on my computer while also using my camera on my phone, but I don't think that I can. So, what I'm gonna do here. Can you guys still hear me? I'm gonna be super muffled now because I don't know, the microphone. Yeah. I suppose you don't really need to hear me. Just watch. Ah, get in frame. Okay. You guys probably can't hear me too well, but I will do my very best. When I paint trees, I actually like to hold my brush like this. I don't know, it feels more, I think you get more wobbly branches, which is what trees actually look like, wobbly. So, ladies and gentlemen, my child, I don't know if you heard her, but it's quite loud. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with it, but it sounds like horrible. Ooh, I want to see your spiral galaxy thing. Yeah, with the spray bottle is very helpful because watercolor does dry very fast. And so it does help. Ooh. Yeah, I, I was always in the habit of taping down my pieces, but then recently I noticed that a lot of my favorite artists don't do that. And so I have noticed that it's a lot easier for me, sometimes to just hold it and move it around. You can use this to help you set up your palette. A lot of artists actually work from their pan because they waste less watercolor doing that, and they just spray their entire pan set before they start. had to plug my mic back in so I could help you. Were you guys able to hear me whenever I was talking without the microphone? I actually like seeing the, I actually like spraying, okay, as long as you can get the gist of what I'm trying to say. I do work from a pan a lot sometimes. Waterfally, cool. I do work with a pan set a lot. I actually made I took just an empty pan palette thing and put my Daniel Smith's watercolors in there, and I even put some of my Hydrus watercolors in there because I can just reactivate them. These roots are kind of interesting. I got this, my handy dandy. That's another thing that I'm excited about the Hydrus is you can just dip this in here and use it because I'm a cheater. I can still say this is all watercolor because I actually learned this technique from Jean Larson. And when she was doing it, I said, wait a minute, you can do that? And then, you know, the other part of my brain is like, well, why not? Why can't I do that? Is there a rule somewhere that says you can only paint with a brush? No, there cannot be a rule. And if there is, then I'm breaking it. I'm painting with a nib pen. I actually spritzed this area a little bit because I wanted to get more roots kind of look to it, and I think I did. It's very interesting. Inktense blocks. You know, I've heard of that. I'm trying to remember what that is though. There's a lot of stuff that I've heard of, and then I just put it somewhere in my brain. I don't know. Okay. So, all right. I think my issue lately has been because I'm getting ready to put my work in a, wow, the glare on this. I'm getting ready to put my work in a pretty professional judged show. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I've never thought about using a dip pen because I never thought I was going to, you know, do calligraphy. And then I saw Jean Larson using it for watercolor details, and I thought, well, wait a minute. I need to go get one of those. So it actually came with a dip pen like this with a bunch of different nibs, and it actually also came with the other type of pen that has the smaller nibs that are closed. I don't know what. I actually found that I liked this nib the best. So, but I do play around with the other one too. I'm just waiting for this to dry, basically. I could use my handy dandy blow dryer. Yeah, it's a pretty popular set. I think it's Uniball. I just, you know, I stood there looking at all the calligraphy stuff at the art store, and I did not have any idea what I was looking at, but these seem to be, you know, the best bet. Sorry if that got loud. Sorry. Phone's being lame again. One thing I will say, there's two things that I was going to say. If you use a dryer and you want really bold, vibrant colors, actually don't use the dryer. You're going to want to just let it air dry if you're using bold, vibrant colors, because the dryer, I don't know what it is about the dryer, but it burns them off or something. It makes them a lot lighter and faded. But since this is just black, I don't think I'm going to be able to scratch any more of this off. Since it's just black, I figured it'd be all right. I wasn't going to use my, you know what? I don't even have white. I was saying earlier, sorry, I keep getting distracted, that I'm going to be entering a show soon that's, it's pretty fancy show, where if I win any awards, like judge, it's a judge show, and if I win any awards, it's like you get money, and I'm excited because I need to buy more supplies. And but there are categories, and when I add this white pen to this instantly becomes mixed media. So one thing I would, if I were wanting to put this in as a watercolor piece, I would have to get some white gouache, or I was gonna get some hydrous white to see how it worked out, and then use that. And that's kind of how I can get away with keeping this purely watercolor. But because I don't want to use white gouache on this, I want really defined white lines, I'm going to go ahead and just use my pen. I'm going to have to unplug my microphone again. I will plug it right back in before I leave you guys so that you guys can hear me. Let's see. What was I doing? Can't remember. Sorry, I'm back to being muffled and waterfally. But that way I don't have to leave you guys before I'm completely done with this. I hope you guys aren't talking because it went away again. Trying to get rid of this. Get rid of this white things. I'm gonna move this as we see. I think I will first start out with this. And then I may start using this, but I hope you guys can hear me. When you use a nib pen on hot press paper, especially cotton hot press, it tears it up. So like down here, I had to be extra careful and gentle. So but I do want to use this at one point, because this can get a little bit chunky. I don't know if that makes sense, but it doesn't always work what I want it to. So ooh, I'm really excited to see your spiral galaxy.
excited to see what Lily films. Sometimes the white has trouble, and I don't know if it's because it's thicker. I'm gonna really dunk it in there and see what happens. Weird. Now I want to see your starfish. I'm excited. Work. Not wanting to work very well. May have to stick with the gel pen. I think it's just because it's thicker. I don't know. Thinking that I don't think I have it. Well, it does dry opaque for me, but it's just too thick. I don't think I have a brush tinier than this. It's Bombay White India ink. I hear you, Joe. I do that same stuff. I watch Skillshare classes and they talk about a paper I haven't ever heard of, and I immediately go on to Amazon and look at it and see if it's something I want to have. That would be so fun. Yeah. How do we do that? Yep. Yeah, definitely. That'd be fun, yeah. Yeah. That'd be so neat. Yay! I'm just using my phone and a window that's glary, so, you know. I think what I'm going to do is do something scary, because I don't know if it's going to work. Oh my, that's pink. I did not mean for that to be pink. Here we go. Something super scary. Ugh. I can get chicken, but if I think it's gonna come out really cool, I gotta give it a try. There we go. Trying to get this in view for you guys. You know, with this seriously glaring window. Yep, a little too much white for me, so what I'm going to do is add a little bit of black. Because I'm a crazy person. Oh, that's sepia. Look at that, see? I'm a crazy person. Woo! Here's my paper towel. Yeah. Whoa, indeed. Come on, water. Whee! Yeah. And my paint. Come on, paint. Come on down. I think I'm going to have to add some granulation medium to this. Because that's going to make a cool effect, I think. And I want to show you guys. And I'm running out of water in my spray bottle. Keep this open. I gotta keep my roots clear. This is cool. I like that I accidentally added the sepia. See? I'm always accidentally doing something. It actually ends up being a good idea. Yes, I totally thought of that. Totally thought. And there's a ghost. That's cool. You guys know I like ghosts. I'm going to add some of this granulation medium. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the top because I'm going to want it to run down. I'm going to let it sit for just a couple of seconds because sometimes it seems to work better when you do it like that. And then I will leave it down. Look at that. Yeah, that's exactly what I was hoping. I wanted to get some roots. See, like that. That's exciting. I'm gonna do something here. I had my grass up here, but now it's... And the thing about... Ooh, there we go. I want to kind of cover this up a little bit more, so I'm going to add a little bit more on this side. I'll just go with black this time. Is it freaky watching me work? Oh, that's good at least. I'm actually gonna just drop some water on here. No! Yeah, and it adds a little bit of a texture. As you can see, I've covered up the, with black, so now the palette knife isn't really creating a stone texture anymore. What I might do... Ooh, I have a leaf here. I should put a leaf on here. Just like a little extra something that makes people go, huh, I'm over. I'm trying to think about where I should put it. I don't want it to be too prominent, but prominent enough that it's people can recognize that that's, I think, right here. I'm just going to sit here and hold this for a minute. What you would normally do is want to wait till it's dry, but I don't want it to be like a super prominent leaf. And I don't know if this is even going to work right, so, because I put it right on the black. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I am going to put a little bite on this. I'm just going to lay this here, and I like doing this, adding a little bit of nature to my paintings because I'm inspired by nature. So I think letting nature help you paint it is actually pretty fun, I think. It makes it more meaningful, I think. Yeah, see what I'm going to do. Because you can kind of see a little imprint of the leaf, but it's not perfect. So, yeah. This is where I think. What do I want to do? I'm actually purposefully scratching this now because it'll leave an imprint. It won't. So it'll leave a neat little imprint in here. So even if I pour water on it, there will still be an imprint of this leaf. I am getting covered in paint. Let's see. Think, think, think. Sorry. Yeah. Be careful.
Okay, got my microphone back in. This is about the point where I'm covered in ink and paint all over my face. It's sprayed on my face. As you can see, my dishes in the sink. Yeah. This is where, at the point basically where I would let my painting marinate for a few hours. I gotta let it dry, and I can't get this off my screen. There we go. I gotta let my painting dry because I want to know what it looks like dry. And if I use this is usually how I look when the dog gets into something, or my daughter suddenly needs me to do something really quick for her and I'm covered and I'm thinking, oh, okay, give me a second, you know. Anyway, I have to let the painting marinate now. I have to let it dry. And if you use the dryer, it's not going to dry the same as if I just let it go, because all of these little wet parts are flowing into each other, and it wouldn't do that if I dried it really quick, because it's got to do its magic, I guess. So now basically I'm going to be watching paint dry for a few hours. I'm actually going to walk away from it for a little bit, maybe wash my hands, and yeah, air dry for the win, definitely. I have to go wash my hands. I have to feed my family now. My husband and daughter have been upstairs playing Zelda for this entire time, so now I'm going to go feed my family, and I actually had a lot of fun for this. I don't like looking at myself, so I'm just gonna not look. But I had a lot of fun, and I really want to do this again, and maybe not make it only for my patrons, but make it for everybody. And I really liked the idea of doing a drawing session together. That would be so fun, and we could plan it like a bi-weekly thing or a monthly thing or whatever works with the schedule, and I'm really looking forward to it because I like actually working with others, and so yeah, that would be exciting. I'm excited. And this is I'll show you my messy dining room right now. It's actually my art room right now, so got my easels and my boards and everything. Anyway, so yeah, hope I did okay for my first live thing, and I hope this says there's 5 people watching now. You guys should get on there and chat and say, who's it? Who's there? Thanks, and I hope to see you guys again soon. And I hope I didn't freak you guys out too much pouring the ink on there. That's the kind of stuff that I do when I'm like, Hi, Mommy! My mommy's here! Say hi to my mommy! Angel Kemery, that's my mommy. That is my mommy. She has been so super supportive of me and sends me care packages in the mail, and I'll all of a sudden get a bunch of new art supplies. And she is my top patron right now on Patreon. She's the reason why I had to do the live thing, so thanks for that, Mom. But yeah, we had a lot of fun, and I'll show you my picture, and then I'm gonna have to get off here and feed the kid. Let's see if I can turn it around. Oh, I know, phone. Leave me alone. This is what I worked on for everybody. And and I freaked everybody out, I guess, pouring ink all over it. But it was fun, and I can't wait to see it dry. And I'm going to have to, I'll post it on Twitter when it's dry so you guys can see what it looks like. I'm not entirely sure that it's going to turn out exactly how I wanted it to, but I do like the little details like these roots here. And let's see if I can, these roots came out really pretty. Darn it, that glare. Oh, that clock. Right. This is pretty cool too, this leaf indentation. So yeah, we'll see what it looks like. And I will definitely have to plan my next live video soon, and I hope you guys will come to that too. And I think I will stick with the 11 a.m. for me, and so that Lily can come. And I will see you guys later on Twitter. Bye, everybody.